Are we late? Are we too late? 3 seconds over? I'm a little bit late, but we'll take it, right? Let's see. Let me make sure I've got everything running here the way it should be. I am trying. I am trying to also push a stream out on TikTok today. That is my goal. If this works properly, we'll be out on 2 platforms today for the first time ever, I might add. And of course, it's not working the way it should. But so TikTok will have to wait for another day because my friends on YouTube are here. So we're going to go ahead and begin. First of all, thank you all for being here. I'm going to just go ahead and shut down the whole TikTok side. It was a good idea. We'll test it later. Yeah, we'll see you. All right. Let's bring me on. Can I be on? Let's see. That's that. Nope. There's this. Why am I not here? Oh, wait. I'll be here when I do this. Okay, wow. Too much problems today. Now I'm here. Okay, we can start now. Holy cow. Let's see. Debbie, looks like you're tracking for me. Who won the internet here? Miss L, congratulations. TW took the long shift over the weekend, and quite honestly, he did a great job. Really, I had no problems. I'm not sure if you guys had any on your side, but had no problems on my side. It was great. Let's see. Lindsay, welcome. Abby, Ashley, Pauline, Ann, Bernard, Debbie, Mike, Dallas, Ven. Wonderful to have you all here this morning. It's a fantastic morning. I actually wanted to share just a brief little story I saw over the weekend on the news. There was a gentleman out in California that had a surprise. He was in his house and he heard a loud bang out, on the porch, and he stepped out and saw his whole porch was on fire. And so he got out. Sadly, one of his dogs did not escape the fire. He was able to get one out. But his house was hit apparently by a meteorite. A flaming ball of fire came down from the sky and lit his house on fire. He did lose everything. He lost his truck and his house and one dog. The only upside of this story is that meteorites can sell for about $1,000 per gram, if depending on the type. So he might actually come out better at the deal financially. But bizarre. What are the odds of getting struck by a meteorite? Probably not very good. So I think he should probably buy a lottery ticket because today was his lucky day. Anyway, wonderful to have all you guys here. Let's see. Good morning, Colette from Ohio. Canada for JB. Yeah, TW just went above and beyond, really. When it comes to service, you cannot fault him. Making sure JB could get online. I sent him some information as well. Hopefully that helps. So JB up in Canada, hopefully you're able to connect today. If you are, feel free to send me a little a chat message or something on the Recovery Addict hotline. I'd love to be able to share that with everybody. So yeah, how was your weekend? Was it as restful as you had anticipated? Are you ready for today and for everything that's going to happen today? Does insurance cover that? It better, right? I'm going to check my insurance policy to make sure it has stray meteorites included as in the rider. But yeah. Let's see. Dallas case says new murder trial starts today. That's a death penalty one. Florida versus Matthew Terry. We also have the Dean Cummings trial as well. I was going to focus on Dean Cummings. I did see there's another trial. There's like a fleeing girlfriend one. Dallas, is that the one you're talking about? That murder trial? Because I have not looked into that one yet. We might have to split our attention between two trials. TW, just go ahead and stick it back in the box you got it in, and it looks like Miss L is the winner of the internet today. She was first in line. Actually came in about a minute before we went live, so she was just on it. Clearly the notifications are working, or she's just been sitting there on the refresh button all morning. But Miss L, thank you. Didn't win the Powerball, but this is a good start. Next best thing, really. I mean, compared to a couple $1 million, winning the internet is pretty good. Let's see. Wow. Trajan, this is my new favorite morning show. Mine as well, mostly because of you guys. So glad you guys are here today. Amazing here. Good afternoon from Bulgaria. One day I will need to learn how to pronounce your name because it sounds like it needs maybe a pronunciation guide for those of us that are not fluent in that language. So if you could spell it out phonetically for me, I will try to learn it. But welcome. It's good to have you here as well. Abby says, I've had my hair cut and colored, had 2 feet cut off. Abby, I also, I'm not sure if you can tell, I also had a haircut. This is part of my weight loss program is I cut my hair. But my wife does it for me, and she does a fantastic job. I love it. And I just have to pay her like 12 monthly payments of $29.95 to pay off the service, then I'm good. But yeah, she does a great job. Congratulations on the haircut, but holy cow, 2 feet. That must be, do you recognize yourself in the mirror? When you look in the mirror, it's like, oh, who's that type thing? That's a big change. That sounds awesome. Katrina, good morning. You got your cup. I've got my cup as well today. I'm rocking the pink cup right here. It says, if I can get it right here. There we go. Objection overruled grounds. I need to take a sip before I spill on my computer. It's full. That is good. And we've got the True Crime Addicts. A few of you should be receiving your cups, your mugs today, if not tomorrow. Those of you that ordered last week. So, yeah, it's awesome. Let's see. Debbie says, my poor dad was convinced he found a meteorite. We still have it saved for him when he wants to see it. Yeah, that's meteorites are a thing. I mean, I've got a friend. We actually went out one time in the deserts, the West Desert. Basically on the way out to Reno, there's a Bonneville Salt Flats area. He was out there looking for meteorites. I went out and he actually got stuck. I had to help him pull his truck out of the mud out there in the salt flats, or his car really. But it's a thing. If you find them, they're worth a lot of money. So keep your eyes open for meteorites. Best way to find them is with a powerful magnet and look for a rock that's out of place. Let's see. Abby says, did I have 2 feet cut off too? It felt like it, really. I felt a little lightheaded afterwards. I've got the airflow now in the scalp that I didn't have before. It's great. Franco says, I ordered my mug. Can't wait to get it. Franco, that's amazing. Thank you so much. I do appreciate it. I need another invisible mug. I need to get a green one, right? So it'll just disappear. Ann says, I got my mug yesterday, Sunday delivery. That is great. That is great. I actually, I know some people were having trouble finding the link to the mug. And so I'm trying to make it easier. If you do want to find it, let me see if I can post it here in chat. Copy and paste. This is the hardest thing I'm going to have to do today, I think. Okay, so I've got a little link tree post right there. That link tree will link, the top link on there is the link to the mug. I think that's the easiest way I can possibly do it, so you don't have to try to search through and scroll through all the results in YouTube, or in eBay, sorry. Anyway, it is a fantastic morning. Good morning, Bella. It is great to have you here. Abby, welcome. MB, good morning as well. I think I've said hello. Last Poet, I missed you as well. Good morning, Addicts. It's good to have you. We've got all the regulars, or most of them. Hopefully JB's on as well. Debbie says, give a shout out to JB in Canada from Debbie. I will. Debbie, I sent you a text message this morning with a tracking number for you. I think you know what that's for. Wonderful. Our Bulgarian friend is Lily. Tammy says, Lily. Is that right? I will pronounce it Lily if that's correct. Tammy, did you use Google Translate to figure that out? I'm curious. Mr. Upper Torso says, hey, nice to see you covering this trial. It's a bit of a change to see the prosecutors dropping the ball for once. Oh, my goodness, Mr. Upper Torso. Has this been bizarre in that way? Ineptitude, right? This is like a, who is it? I was thinking Gomer Pyle, but that's the wrong guy. Barney Fife, right? It's like a Barney Fife type case where complete just mistakes were made type thing. And I really expect that we'll see a couple things. First of all, because last week when the defense right at the end of the day last week on Friday, everyone's like, judge says, hey, be here on Monday, see you. And then they come back, right? Everyone turned it off, right? And then they come back and like, oh, wait, one more thing. You know, like the Apple Steve Jobs thing. Oh, there's one more thing. We'd like you to throw everything out. Throw out all the charges. And so the judge is like, well, looking at it, yeah, I'm going to throw out 2 of the charges. I'm going to throw out the concealing your identity charge because there's no proof, 0 proof that ever happened. And I'm going to throw out the tampering with evidence charge because there's 0 proof that happened. And he says, but there is... there's something to speak to the fact that he may have committed murder. The fact that there's a dead person and used his gun and things like that. Yeah, it's a possibility. So that's kept in. And because that was kept in, obviously the case is ongoing. But you really have to wonder, what does the defense need to do at this point? Because the state has failed so badly at presenting evidence that he actually committed murder, because it is their burden to prove, right? They have to prove that he did that. They have to prove that it wasn't self-defense, basically. Dean Cummings does not have to prove that it was self-defense. He's innocent until proven guilty. And because the state dropped the ball so badly, really, I wonder what his lawyer's going to do. She can pretty much sum up everything in her closing arguments. So I wonder if she's going to just rest. Anne says defense doesn't need to present a case. They don't. I wonder if they're just going to rest. She might call somebody up just to point out the glaring omissions the state had. But really, her closing arguments can just be like, jury, the paperwork's almost been filled out for you. All you have to do is mark not guilty because the state hasn't done anything they said they were going to do. But yeah, Shauna, welcome to my life. I can't spell any day, especially when I'm in front of a bunch of people on the internet. But wonderful, wonderful. Okay, Colette says, who leads a murder investigation but never goes to the scene? Weird. Yeah, the lead investigator and the bizarre situation of him going into a coma and losing his memory of his grand jury testimony, which is sort of convenient considering the grand jury testimony is pretty different from the facts. But really that happens. I mean, that happens probably more than we like to admit. But crazy. Let's see. Mr. Upper Torso says if Baldwin, you're talking about the Rust shooting, Mr. Upper Torso. If Baldwin gets prosecuted, I can see why they're bringing a special DA if this is how New Mexico court usually works. Yeah, Baldwin, he's the one that was holding the prop gun, which was a real gun that was loaded and fired it and killed one person on the set as well as injured the producer. But that will be an interesting case, a very interesting case. Tragic at the same time, but 2 senses here. Our friend in Bulgaria says it's Lily. It's Lily. So Tammy, thank you for whatever research you did to get that. Maybe she just there it is. Sorry, it's Lily. Okay, Lily, welcome. So glad you can connect from so far away. Hopefully you're it's probably evening or close to it for you, but so glad you can be here. Sandy, welcome. Thank you. It is so exciting. I wonder which color everyone got. Is there a preferred color? I'm drinking out of the pink one, which I have to admit is my wife's favorite. But there are 5 options. I wonder what you think. Katrina says, I've been watching the FSU law professor Dan Markle murder trial. Wow, that's a weird case. Katrina, I'm going to have to catch up on that. What bizarre has hooked you on that one? Let's see. Did he throw out 2 charges? Yes, he did. 2 charges are out. And these 2 charges, the jury knew about them. It's not, I mean, the state literally in their opening statement said, we're going to prove these 3 charges. Now, the 2 charges he kept was basically the murder charge and the lesser included manslaughter charge. So it's the same thing, but they can only find one of them. Those are still on the books, but it's basically 1 charge, but they can come back with a verdict on 2 different charges, if that makes sense. If I haven't muddied the waters too much on that. Thank you for subscribing and hitting the like button. Appreciate it, Abby. Patty J, good morning. Mr. Upper Torso says, I wouldn't convict based on this evidence, but we'll see what the jury thinks. I agree. Here's what I'll say on this case. This is about the Dean Cummings case in New Mexico. I'm not convinced it was self-defense. It very well could have been murder. Okay, there's enough about it that's a little weird, but I don't believe the state has met their burden of proof. And so he may get away with murder because the state has not proved it. And that's the state's job to do it. So Ashley says, I think the defense just need to be competent at this point. Yeah, his defense is incredible. She is amazing. Abby, you pointed that out as well. And we'll catch that. They're not going live for a while yet. I'll have to look at the timing on that. So we won't be able to catch it on this morning stream, but we'll go live when it does out of New Mexico. They're a couple hours behind us. State so far proved that local law enforcement needs additional funds and training. Yeah, did you see the question? They almost went down that route about the funding, and the judge was like, I think that got objected to. But really, it's a little, they're way behind on equipment. They just don't have the cameras, they don't have the radios, they don't have the computers, and arguably they don't have the training with the lead investigator taking internet courses like self-directed. I watched it on YouTube and learned how to be an investigator type thing. Bizarre case. Terry says, what happened to the suitcase murder? Kind of quit in the middle? Yeah, it quit at the beginning, but it will be back, Terry. What happened was Sarah Boone's lawyer, her 6th public defender, and she's been through a lot of lawyers. She's had a private lawyer, then couldn't pay him and had to go back to a public defender and on all this. Her 6th public defender has filed a motion of continuance, and that basically said, Judge, I need more time. And the judge granted that and said, okay, I'll give you till January 30th. So they're looking at more evidence. I think the state provided some additional evidence of some sort, because there was also a discovery motion that was granted and things like that. So we're waiting till January 30th. And oh my goodness! This morning I got up at 4:00 this morning because I just could not sleep. I was too excited about this week, and I made a spreadsheet, right, to track all the different cases we're following and what the progress is. So I've got the Oakland shooters and the parents and the Delphi murders, and we still have Brooks out there. Okay, we're not quite done with him. We've got the Spanish teacher that was murdered, a suitcase murder, the extreme skier. We might add a few more to this as well. But just looking at the next court dates. The Oakland shooter parents are coming back. Their trial starts on January 17th. The suitcase murder starts on January 30th. We've got a couple other hearings, like on the suitcase, on the extreme. Oh, let me go to the other one. The Delphi murders. There's a hearing on that one that's coming up. That is. Let me actually back up a little bit. Delphi murders. And I apologize, Terry. I'm jumping all over the place. I know this bugs you, so I'll try to give a preface to my squirrel moments. But on this Delphi murders, last week, the judge, who was Judge Benjamin Diener, or Denier, I think is what, Danier. I don't know how to pronounce that. But he did something weird because they in Indiana, there's a law that once somebody's arrested, the affidavit that was used for probable cause for the arrest should be released. It's a law. It's a public record. But he sealed it and didn't release it. And so everyone's like, why won't you tell us, what evidence you had to arrest him? This is what we normally get. And then the judge goes into panic mode. And he releases this statement. He's like, look, you guys, it's just me and my clerk. We don't have like a team of people here working. And I'm being flooded with requests for information and basically challenges to me sealing this. And then he up and quits. The judge quit. He literally said, I'm recusing myself. And in Indiana, he doesn't have to give a reason. He doesn't have to say, "Oh, I'm connected. I know the accused," or anything. He doesn't have to do that. He can just say, "Hey, I'm out. I'm recusing myself," and he did. And so now we have a new judge, Judge Frank Gull, who was going to be taking over this case, and so that judge is going to handle the hearing that's coming up on the 22nd of this month. And that hearing is about that document that got sealed. Basically, are we going to keep it sealed or are we going to release it? So on the 22nd, we might have a lot more information about Richard Allen and this Delphi murder case. So that's fascinating. The one thing I like about this new judge that we got, Judge Gull in that case, is that he voluntarily opted in to like an open courts type system where they allowed cameras and everything in the courtroom. So he has like a pro camera approach to the courtroom. So we might be able to have a lot more access or better access, excuse me, if that's the case. So that's going to be a good one to watch, and that's coming up here in just we've got 2 weeks to get an answer on that. And then the trial actually on that one won't start till March 20th. So anyway, okay, so where was I going? I got distracted on a squirrel. And Terry says, "I love this channel." Terry, I appreciate you being here, and I appreciate your constructive feedback you've given me as well. Let's see. I think I missed quite a few things here as I got carried away in that. Colette talking about the Dean Cummings case. The lead investigator never even brought in a team to test the trajectory of the bullets. The things he didn't do astound me. He never tested the mace to see if there was dye in it. He never even sprayed it. I don't even think they weighed it against the actual weight of the product when it was new. He just basically said, "Oh, I've seen mace like that, and it usually has dye, so it's the right one." And I just, oh man, crazy. Suitcase murder, please, Terry. We will get there. We will definitely follow that. Sarah Boone is bizarre, and I will say this: of all the cases we are following, more of you are leaning to support Sarah Boone than any of the other cases. And I wonder why. What is it about that case that makes so many of you think, hey, she might have had a reason. It might not be, as it's made to look right now in the media. There might be more to it than that. So I'm curious to know what to think there. Patty says, "I'm going to be ordering pink." Sandy Seals is going for the black, and it's the blue. Katrina got the light blue. Wonderful. They're great mugs. I love how big they are. I think one mug will last me for a whole live stream. And it's wonderful. Let's see. Debbie, I still can't get over their self-taught expert. Right. When you were presenting an expert in court, you generally go through their educational experience, their training, all their certifications. Why in the world would you get somebody up there and ask them what their training is if all it is I watched something on YouTube? For that, I mean, I'm a lawyer. If that's all it takes, I watch something on YouTube. But bizarre. That's going to be bizarre. So we'll see what happens with that case today when that goes live. So hopefully you guys can all join. That's awesome. Okay, Katrina. Let's see. I started by watching the interrogations from 2014 or 15 of Professor Lacasse, and then of the ex-wife. Okay, Katrina, that was the case that you said you were interested in. What's the name of that one? I have not followed that one. I'd love to catch up on that maybe in the break here today. I have to go back to where you said I missed it. I'm scrolling through here. But give me the name of that one again. I'll put it in my notes for homework. And if there's something in here that might be fun to discuss as a group, I'll see if I can brush up on that and just be able to provide that as well. Let's see. I think Boone will give Brooks a challenge to being the most wacky noodle, and I think so. But what we aren't going to see what we aren't going to see in the Dean Cummings case is Dean Cummings on the stand. We're not going to hear from Dean, and Dean is a little bit crazy as well. Sarah Boone in Florida, she's crazy, but not like the kind of crazy we saw in Brooks. We don't have, first of all, no sovereign citizen issues, but she does seem to think differently than the average person would. She's a special judge, seems very solid. We've had a couple of really good judges lately, really interesting and fun to watch. But yeah, Ashley, the judge Denier did recuse himself. Judge Gull will be interesting. He's from another county over, but I think the court case will still take place in the same place, so he'll travel to the courtroom. But I don't know if he brings his own like court reporter and court clerk, everyone he's used to working with, or if he's sort of like all in a new environment. That'll be interesting to see. Did I hear right that they didn't even contact the mace manufacturer? Actually, they did nothing. They did not even test the clothes that Dean Cummings said, here are the clothes that I was wearing when I got sprayed with mace. Please take them and test them. And they said, okay. And they took them and instead said, you try to hide evidence by hiding your clothes in the truck, which he didn't. He gave them to them. And they never tested them for mace. There's just so many problems there. 2 cents, Katrina, yep. 11, 15, and 16 for DB. We may see him on the 11th. Which is this week. If he needs to make an appearance to tell the judge the 20 plus names of people who are going to testify for him, that information is due to the judge, as well as some other filings, anything else that he needs like updated or records submitted or something. So I think we're going to see on the 11th, we're going to see him try to have every document and request and motion and paperwork and everything submitted into the record again, even though it already is. So we'll see that, and then we'll see this list of 20 people and see exactly who it is who's going to be speaking for him. There's a chance they can do that without being in court. He might just send it using that inmate communication form, but he might be in court on the 11th. Just briefly for that. Let's see. A spreadsheet is a good deal. Wondered how you kept them straight. Well, I had a big, huge notepad on a digital notepad that I was just following everything on, but it just got so crowded. I'm scrolling constantly. I'm losing my place. All the fonts the same, and so now I've got a spreadsheet where I can keep all the pertinent facts. I've got my info website, so all the records requests from the government sites for each site listed, so I can quickly hit it and just catch the latest stuff. Hopefully it'll keep me a little more streamlined and information at my fingertips. Let's see. Shauna, hot topic with Delphi. Yes, been following that one for years. I think we've all put DB sentencing on our schedule. Yeah, yes, that will be hard. That will be hard. A lot like the Parkland witness statements or impact statements were hard. But at the same time, I think we're going to see more bizarre from Darrell Brooks, and maybe the gag comes out finally. Aaron Carter. Oh, I saw Roxanne. I saw he passed away. Backstreet Boys, right? Is that, or who was it? It was a boy band. He passed away. Not sure what the circumstances were, but I did see that in the news. Mr. Upper Torso says, Delphi case is going to be a big one. People are emotionally invested in that. They want answers after waiting for years. Right. And I believe the Richard Allen, the suspect they've arrested and charged with murder, has actually been moved to another facility out of concerns for his safety as well. So yeah, that's a big issue. Let's see. Sarah clearly says, Libcom says, Sarah clearly was not self-defense, so I would convict her on something. Yeah, there's going to be something bizarre there. I really wonder if, a lot of what we hear before a case goes to trial, we sometimes hear one side of the story or something's presented through the interviews that's, we assume that's what the defense is going to be, but actually when it goes to trial, they may present a different defense. I wonder if it will change for her. I wonder if her lawyer, her public defender, is going to say, that's not the best approach. Here's what I think we should do. So that'll be interesting to see for sure. Let's see. TW says, I am a coffee expert. That and the internet expert. Add that to your list of certifications. Sandyfield says, everyone should watch the Sarah Boone interrogation before they decide. Right. It's bizarre. It's bizarre in how she's thinking. I mean, I like to put myself in someone's situation and say, if this had just happened to me, what would my behavior be like? How would I be different? But if I just had my, my significant other, pass away in tragic, surprising circumstances, I wouldn't have like a shopping list of things to check off on an envelope here, and just going about my day type thing. And I need the ring back, and yeah, it didn't sit right with me. Something's wrong there. Debbie says, recovery addict. Which one was Sarah Boone? Sarah Boone is the suitcase murder. That's out of Florida, Ninth Circuit Court on that one. And it's going to be bizarre. Judge Wooten down there, her lawyer is Bankowitz. We've got some issues with Bankowitz already that are on the record that Sarah Boone has raised in a letter that she sent to Bankowitz as well as Judge Wooten, saying he's not answering the phone. He's not returning my messages. I'm not able to speak to him, to build my defense. We've only talked 3 times since he's been assigned. So we'll see. That's, the court doesn't want to see that because that might be an issue for appeal. But at the same time, when you get a public defender, you're not going to have the same availability and dedicated attention that you'll have from a private lawyer. Abby says, call Recovery Addicts burner phone, 801-513-1160, and leave a message. Yeah, if there's anything you'd like to say, if you'd like to hear your voice on the air, that is the best way to do it. You can also text me at that number. Just make sure anything you include in there is something you want shared, or let me know in the message otherwise. Vallow and Daybell. Oh, I need them on my spreadsheet. I don't have that. Dallas, when will the trial start ever? During our lifetime? Vallow is now incompetent again to stand trial, and Daybell now prefers to be tried alone. Yeah, they've been split up. It's bizarre. It's bizarre. I hope that proceeds soon, for the just everyone's sake. That just needs to come to a conclusion. We have the teens who off the Spanish teacher plus the murder of a math teacher for possible death penalty. What was the math teacher, Colette? That's a different case, right? Because the teens on the Spanish teacher murder, there was only the one murder, and those 2 are Willard Miller and Jeremy Goodall. They're both 17 years old, being tried as adults in that. But I believe because that's in Iowa, they don't have a death penalty. So the Spanish teacher murder is a life in prison only as a maximum penalty. Looks like I did just get a message. Let's see here. Oh, it was an old one from Debbie. Oh, great. I'm glad you got my message this morning, Debbie. Thank you. And no problems on Saturday. It was great to have you there. Let's see. There's no one crazy like Brooks. Abby, I think Boone might give Brooks a run for his money. Really. Mr. Upper Torso says, I'm putting money on Boone getting on the stand. Women defendants seem to want to explain themselves more. I think so. I think she's going to push for that as well. And I don't know. It didn't go well for Amber, right? Let's see. Terry says, what's your name? Do I not have to call you that guy? My name is Scott, Terry. My name is Scott. You can call me Recovery Addict or Scott. But I answer to just about anything. Let's see. Aaron was talking about Aaron Carter, who passed away over the weekend. Debbie, Aaron was a talented little kid. His song Aaron's Party is one of my daughter played so much. I thought it was cute. Then his family just spiraled. That's when Aaron needed help right then. It is sad. It's sad to see what that can do to people that don't have a support network in place. They need to move the Delphi case to another bigger county. Yeah, and that might be an issue. I mean, you've got to seat a jury out of that county, right? I don't think they'll be able to seat a jury very easily. So that might cause further delays, especially if they try to seat a jury and are unsuccessful, or seeing that it's not getting anywhere. When do impact statements start for Daryl Brooks' defense? That's going to be on. Let's see, he's going to submit the information about who's going to speak for him on the 11th, and the state is going to do the same. But then the actual testimony is going to be on the 15th and 16th. So we anticipate that Brooks will be sentenced on the 16th at the close of those remarks when all the witnesses are there. Let's see. I guarantee DB's going to ask for more time. He already did. He already is like, oh man, I've got to get my affairs in order. I've got all these things to do. I should share this spreadsheet, make it a Google Doc, and share it with all y'all so you can update and add new things. Air Force, welcome, says hello from Pennsylvania. New subscriber, love the channel. Thanks for all you do. Hey, thanks for dropping a line and not just being a lurker. You're always welcome in chat. Any information or question or comment you have is welcome. We're a friendly bunch here, so don't be shy. Let's see. Oh, man. Yeah, it's wonderful, wonderful. Okay, good comments all over the place. Definitely something we need to do about mental health. We need to do more. We need to just individually, we not need to treat it like this bad word, a scarlet letter that no one talks about. The truth is most of us will deal with some sort of mental health issue at some point in our lives, whether it's something that's ongoing or something that can be treated and then we move on from. It's not that far away. It's in our families right now. There are people right now that are dealing with it with varying degrees. And it really needs to be something that's talked about a lot more. Willard Millard is a tragic name. I can see how things went downhill. Who is Willard? Oh, the two. Oh, Willard Millers, I think you were talking to say. Yeah, it's 17 years old. Tried as an adult for murder. Yep. Lori, oh my goodness, you're a teacher. I had a student break my windshield over a failing grade. Hopefully they got some suspension or something out of that. That's bizarre. I saw Amber just seems to still be in the news. With Amber and Johnny Depp case. I think there's still some motions going back and forth as they're trying to overturn verdicts and change the amounts that are owed. And there's something about her fleeing the country. I'm like, is there any truth to that? She fled the country to escape some insurance suits or something. Not sure. Oh my goodness. Lori says she had a student break her windshield. Shauna says my mom had sugar put in her gas tank. Oh man. Roxanne said I agree with the change of venue for Delphi. Yeah, it's most likely going to happen in my estimation. Hopefully it won't delay the case too far. I mean, it's already been so long. I just really hope that it doesn't push out past the middle or towards the end of March that it already is at. Brooks has to round up his at least 20 witnesses. Right, that's a lot of collect phone calls from the jail. So we'll see. And he has been, at least from his sentencing, we knew that he was sort of on 24-hour watch, suicide watch, where they wouldn't let him use the phone. So I'm not sure what that will look like for him rounding up those witnesses. Zen says, do you have Ethan Crumley and his parents out of Wisconsin? Yes, so Ethan, the story about Ethan, he pled guilty on all 34 charges, even without a plea deal, right? It's basically throwing himself at the mercy of the court, saying, be lenient, I'm going to agree to everything. And as part of that, he also agreed to testify against his parents. So his case right now is set up, let's see, the 29th, there's a review hearing. So the end of this month, there's a review hearing in his case. But he's pled guilty, so we know that, at least we know the outcome. We just don't know what the sentence will be. And there's, some procedural stuff that'll happen between now and then. Then his parents, James and Jennifer Crumbley, are in trial. Let's see, January 17th is their date. It's going to start at 8:30 in the morning. So that's when we're going to follow as well. They have pled not guilty to 4 charges of manslaughter, I believe. So yeah. Let's see. Seriously, you guys, you teachers who put it all on the line for your students and then get crazy abuse, that is bizarre. Kids need more respect these days. They're losing that. Let's see. That's crazy, scary. Yes, for sure. Nate, the lawyer case with Boozy. Brian, I need to look in that one. What is? I don't know much about that. MB says, you're a lurker if you're not chatting. Well, lurking's okay. It's not a crime in this courtroom, the public opinion courtroom. Just sit in the gallery and behave, and you're welcome. But if you want to participate, you're always welcome as well. TW, when the internet caused some mental health issues, but I have recovered. I got better. Lori, wow, that was the gentleman who broke your windshield. Crazy, crazy. Debbie, the 11th, I'm not sure if we can count on it because I don't know if it'll happen on a live stream. It might just be something that happens via communication back and forth between the judge. So let's see. Ashley says, I think mental health is talked about a lot more, but trying to get help for it is difficult. Right. In the UK, in the US as well. We don't have the support there that we need to have. Roxanne says, thank you, Scott. I believe COVID isolation is caused people to have mental issues because of the stigma. They won't seek help. It's like someone with kidney disease not seeking help from a urologist. Yeah, there's a stigma out there. By admitting you have mental health issues or you need help, it shouldn't be there. It should be treated a lot more like any other illness that we have that can be treated and cured. Mr. Upper Torso, I know we're jumping around all over the place, Terry, and I apologize for that, but just trying to follow the comments here in chat. He says, the insurance companies are lawsuiting, and she's in the middle of it. She claims she is stateless, so there's no jurisdiction. Spoiler, it won't work. So we're talking about Amber Heard here. The insurance companies are suing her, claiming that she's has no permanent residence. That will not fly, no. How long is she going to stay overseas? Forever? She's not going to ever shoot another show here in the U.S.? Yeah, that's what Amber is doing. Valerie points out that Nicholas Cruz had all the mental health help, but was still nuts. Right. It's not a cure-all. It's not. Man. So Lori's given us detail, at 30 seconds apart on this story about a student that smashed her windshield, angry about a grade. He was a physician's assistant student in the third year. Think how far you've gone in your schooling and how much, arguably a lot of people have, how much student loan debt you've racked up to get that far. To throw it away with a crime like that, that's bizarre. That's bizarre. Miss L is already feeling the pressure of owning the internet. Says, I'm near the Canadian border, putting on my snowsuit and boots to check on JB. Got snow last night, but we'll do the job. You guys got snow. It's going to be 85 degrees here in North Carolina where I'm at, which is amazing. It's way too warm for this time of year. Roxanne says, does anyone know if the mother of 5-year-old Cairo Jordan has been found? She's been being sought for his death. I do not know. Chat, if you can search for that answer and let me know. Sandy Field says, Scott, do you know that you can't be employed now, as it would leave us all heartbroken? Sandy, I would love to do this for a living. Obviously, selling mugs, earning what is 75 cents per mug is not going to get me there. So I'll have to look at some other options, but if this is something I can do, where I could earn a little money and provide for my family, I would love to keep doing it. So that would be awesome. Let's see. Matthew Terry says Colette was previously convicted for stabbing an ex 7 times, then gets out and kills his next ex, the elementary math teacher. Wow. Who's next? Right? That is bizarre. I guess he got away with the first one. Well, he wasn't. He was convicted, gets out, and then does it again. So he's a repeat offender. Yeah, don't date people like that, please. MB says, can I take a slightly different stance on mental health? Of course, different opinions are always welcome. Maybe more help available, but talked about less in media. Everyone seems to be triggered, have anxiety, depression, etc. Okay, I can see where you're going with that. I'm on board. Let's see. See if I'm just trying to catch the questions here because chat's going pretty fast. Let me refresh my screen here. Make sure no court cases are up yet, and I'm not seeing any. Not seeing any yet, so we've got a little bit of time. I'm not covering the Pike County murders, although for those who are, talk about bizarre. You've almost got like 2 crime families, right? But it's more like redneck crime families running their own little marijuana grow and back and forth, and accusations of abuse of a child that was shared between the two families because of custody battle. And then premeditated murder where 4 members of the family were all in on it. The mom bought the shoes they would wear. They bought a new truck. They planned everything out, even doing it on a cloudy day so that satellites wouldn't get pictures of it. Just absolutely bizarre. Brian Scher says, Nate the lawyer, it's a defamation suit that Emily D. Baker's watching. Crazy case regarding internet YouTube attorneys and how it affects real world cases. Yeah, I'll look at that. I do follow a little bit. I don't follow Nate. I'll have to watch him. Emily Baker, I've seen a little bit. Her stream's a little bit edgier than ours. So it might not be a good fit for everybody, but she's very, very smart and very insightful. A lot of experience there. Okay. Lori going on, that we're getting a line upon line on the story. I merely explained that I was a recorder of grades, not a giver of grades, but he was not happy. Yeah, it was he was the one that earned the grade, right? It wasn't what you gave him. But Alexis, coming in late, not a problem. You'll get a pass this time. Welcome. Glad to have you here. Let's see, 85 in Louisiana. That's nice and warm. 75 in sunny Ocala. Katrina says, get monetized, then more your job. I tried, and I made a mistake, which made me wait for 30 days. I've hit all the metrics. As a matter of fact, you guys are so amazing. I hit all the metrics for YouTube monetization in one day. In one day, I got over 1,000 subscribers and over 5,000 watch hours. But because I used a video on the same channel that I'd also shared on TikTok that has it's got like 12 million views over on TikTok. They said I was reusing content that I took from there. Well, I didn't. I filmed it on my phone, but I understand what they're getting at. So I had to delete that and wait till the end of November to apply again. And I think it should be a open shut case then. But that's what we'll do. I appreciate that. And then YouTube might pay my bills. No updated news. Thank you, Ashley, for researching this. No updated news that I can find on Cairo Jordan's mother. Last news articles are from the 27th of October saying she's still on the run. Let's see. Debbie says, I'm usually the late one. Thanks for taking over for me today. Should we have a prize for people who are the latest? That would be interesting. Let's see. Just trying to scan for questions here, so I apologize about the lull. How about the crime family in South Carolina? The name escapes me. Can somebody answer this for Kelly? Who's the crime family in South Carolina? I'd love to hear about these cases. Not an ostrich. Welcome. Says the girl that stabbed her boyfriend to death had stabbed him before. Was that are we talking about the model, the OnlyFans model? She's the one that threw the knife. That's her defense. She threw it and it stabbed him or something. Let's see. MB says, I have my master's in psychology and did counseling for years. There is true mental issues out there, but I'm seeing more and more kids that have issues because their friends have issues. Yes, I'm on board. That's some heavy stuff to talk about when you get into the weeds on that. But really, when it seems popular to have issues, more people have them. Bizarre. We've got a lake club going. Who's the honorary president of the lake club, Debbie? Is that going to be you or Katrina? Let's see. Or Alexis. Was Alexis late as well? The Murdo case is wild. He's looking at something like 80 charges now. Which one's Murdo? Roxanne, I love this. I love everyone here. You are my people. So supportive. I'm supportive to you all. I give Debbie my email address. Don't mind if anyone wants to reach out. Yeah, seriously, if you guys, we're friends here, but if anyone does need to talk, and I'm the only person you can talk to, reach out to me. Off the air, on the air, doesn't matter. If you need to talk, I'll listen. If you need somebody to talk to. Let's see, I could probably win that easily, says Alexis. I'm not a morning person at all. Luckily, the morning show goes for about 2 hours, so it's easier. Okay, Nick Carter's brother, Alex Murdo in South Carolina. Okay, Zen. So thank you. Let me Google this one really quickly and see. This is the crime family you were talking about, the South Carolina crime family. Let's see where we're at with that. He's indicted on murder charges. Let's see here. He reported finding his wife and son dead. Now he's on trial for murder. Okay, I need to look at that. I need to look at this. A well-connected legal family from South Carolina. They've got top prosecutors in the family for 90 years. Really a well-known family. Okay, so I'm going to look into this Murdaugh one. That's fascinating to me. There's some stuff to see there for sure. We'll take a look at that. Thank you very much. Appreciate the tip on that one. Yeah, 3 generations, Mr. Repatorso, that's right. 3 generations being prolific lawyers, even prosecutors, I think. So you have people who are very, very well versed in the law and in criminal law who are now accused of crimes. So you wonder how or if their knowledge of the law and their knowledge of how people are prosecuted for crimes played into this at all. Bizarre. The timeline for the Murdaugh case goes back years. There's bodies. Oh, man. Are we going to get in trouble just watching it? The mafia coming to get us. Okay. Debbie has volunteered to be president of the late club, but she might be late. Class is postponed until the president shows up. Let's see. After Brooks, we all need therapy. Just a little bit, whether it's, just a little downtime with a, Netflix or something, or maybe some chocolate. Let's see. Secret is safe with me. You guys are awesome. Recovery addict, that's incredibly kind of you to let people know you're there. Most of the time, people just need to be heard. I love it here. Yeah, well, you're in luck right now because I don't have anything else to do other than this right now. And I'd like it if this is all I have to do. So if you do need to talk, honestly, the hotline number, you can reach me. I wouldn't put something like that on the air. So let's see. Roxanne says, I have some great news about my sister with Down syndrome. Chris Ulmer from the YouTube channel for Special Kids wants to interview my sister. She's excited. That is awesome. I hope it goes wonderfully. That is neat. Brooks' trial was anxiety producing for sure. I felt that every single time. I'm like just you're waiting for it to blow up, right? It's just a train wreck that's in the making. The South Carolina case, the Murdaugh case, is multiple murders over several years. He got a settlement on his housekeeper's death and didn't give it to her family, but kept it himself. Oh, man. He hid his money in places. He stole $10 million from his clients. We have to look at this. Oh, Murdaugh is like the Girardi case, but with less money and more bodies. Okay, we're going to have to look at that. We'll have to dig into it. I'll probably have to make another spreadsheet just for that case if there's that many bodies and things. Roxanne, that is awesome. I'm so excited for her. Shauna says, hey, what about the serial killer in California? They just found him. I'm interested in that one. Who was it they found? Let me know the name. And I really should turn off the slow mode on our morning chats because I ask you a million questions. Then you have to sit there and wait for 30 seconds to reply. And then I forgot the question. Let's see here. See if I can do that while we're... Okay, I think I turned it off. So now you can just chat to your heart's content, and I'll try to keep up with everything. What's the name of the serial killer in California? Is it Stockton? Let me Google as well because I know that's what you guys are doing. I'll save that one. Stockton serial killings timeline. 43-year-old suspect arrested. Arrested while hunting. So he was arrested over the weekend. Just reading this here from the headlines. A suspected serial killer. This is from by Emily Shapiro, is the author of this one on ABC News. Says a suspected serial killer in Stockton, California, was apprehended this weekend while he was out hunting for another victim. Well, he was hunting for another victim, according to police. The suspect, Wesley Brownie, a 43-year-old Stockton resident, was arrested while he was driving early Saturday. Stockton Police Chief Stanley McFadden announced at a news conference. They'd zeroed in on him from tips from officers and surveilled him as he drove. He was literally hunting his next victim, and they got him. He was patterns, his behavior. He was going around parks, around dark places, stopping, looking around, moving again. He was hunting. Okay, yeah, he was wearing dark clothing, had a mask. He was armed with a firearm. They definitely stopped another killing. That was, yeah. I'm glad they moved in when they did. Hopefully, they have enough evidence to nail him on what he did before. So we'll have to get into that a little bit too. I'll add him on the list. Yeah, Abby, wow. MB says, slow mode never bothers me. It takes me more than 30 seconds to form a thought. Lori, dang, Scott, you be a multitasker. Woohoo! I try, but usually I just confuse everybody. Yeah, another one in California. They've had a few. Eric Allen has a very quick rundown of the case. I'll have to catch up on that one. Okay, that is awesome. Do you ship the mug outside the U.S.? Yes, I saw we shipped one to Slovakia just last week. So I believe it'll ship anywhere, is my understanding. It's just the cost of shipping obviously goes up a little bit. But I think the mugs are available wherever you can buy them. Let's see. True Celtic Mutt says, good morning from Mutt and the rest of the Doghouse gang. Hey, True Celtic, glad I could drop in on your live stream last week. Saw you were live this morning, but I was in the middle of prep, so I wasn't able to drop in as well. But it takes some nerve to go live on YouTube. It really does, just to turn that camera on and hit that button and be there. So I give kudos to everyone who's willing to do that. Another podcaster is Mandy Matney, called The Murdaugh Murders. Yeah, this sounds like it will be fascinating. Does anyone know the trial schedule of the Murdaugh Murders? Where are we at on that one? Are we like years out before it goes to trial, or where? Ashley, thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Welcome back anytime. Hopefully you can come back later today for the Dean Cummings case. Let's see. Guy arrested in California is Wesley Brownlee. Right. He's the accused. Abby's posted a link for the mug in chat. Thank you guys. Everyone who bought it. I do appreciate it. You guys are awesome. 2 cents. You are awesome. You really are. This is a blast. I love this community I've found. You guys are amazing. You make it so much fun to come online every single day. Roxanne says, Mutt has an amazing sense of humor. You guys have tons of wit. Some of you guys are so sharp that I miss it in chat. And my wife said, did you see what they said? Do you see that? But you guys are amazing. Let's see. California, Washington State, Colorado. What's up with that anyway? Which one was that, Shauna? Is that the guy they got in California? Is that where the murders were done? Or are we talking about something else? What's happening? Oh, my goodness. What's happening with the person who plowed into traffic in California? When was that? Upper torso. January is going to be insane. We're going to have I'll have to go like one of these super source type things where we have, 4 different things going at once with all the audio, just so we can show what's happening, just to keep up. Not an ostrich says, Brooks expects 20 plus friends to speak on his behalf. I'm sure with their outstanding warrants, his friends are lining up to identify themselves in the courthouse. Yeah, if it means they get out for the day, I think they'll speak for him. Lori, thanks for being here. I appreciate you. Hopefully you can make it back for the live stream later on when the extreme skier trial kicks off for the day. MWA, that's the traveling nurse running to intersection at 130 mile per hour. That's the California one. 130? Who needs to go 130? Nurse killer. Nurse's vehicle hit 130 mile per hour in a collision that killed 5 in LA. A nurse. Wow. Okay. So we've got a bunch to add to the spreadsheet. I'm going to be working on the spreadsheet between now and when that case goes live here. Let's see. We need more hours in January for sure. We're gonna have to start assigning you guys to keep me updated on a few cases. But it'll be crazy. Just so much is happening. It'll be fun. I mean, it'll be fun crazy. We'll always have something to talk about. You know, it's right now we're sort of sitting in a lull a little bit, but yeah, it'll be bizarre. That's the nurse. They've got footage. Is it? Oh man. Heather says, "Is your wife watching?" Hi, wifey. Thanks for letting us. Yeah. She does watch when she's not busy. She also teaches homeschool. She homeschools our kids. So right now she's taking care of that. But she does catch up afterwards. She watches me on high speed. I'm not sure how you guys feel about this, but my wife is able to consume audio and video information at a rate so much faster than I can. She can watch YouTube on 2 times speed and get everything, not miss a beat. All the words to me, they sound the same at that speed. But yeah. Roxanne says, everyone check out True Celtic Mutt's videos about shorts. It'll make you smile. Shauna says, hey, I love you also. This really is a great morning thing happening here. It's great. No better way to start the day than with you guys. Okay, so that the nurse case was over the summer. What was the reason? Why 130 miles an hour? I mean, is she rushing to the hospital? Because she killed 6 people. Yeah. You guys are podcast fans, clearly. Liz Larson says, check out the podcast titled Monsters, Zombies, and Mutants on Brighton. Is it crime? Is it a crime focus, or is it like actually like a monster focus? Yeah, Kelly, I think that's what we're talking about with that 130 mile per hour thing. It's bizarre. And you guys are well ahead of me. I'm falling behind on the chat. I apologize. Oh man, that is awful. I hope they don't show it. I really don't. I don't want to see that. You're running a prolonged stream. True Celtic, wonderful. Alexis, I wouldn't be surprised if DB disguises himself as 20 different people to testify on his behalf. Oh man, he changes his voice and maybe puts on a different tie. Patty says, just checked out that mug. Thanks for the link. Got to have it. I appreciate the kind of people in this chat. You guys are amazing. Thank you. We all need a spreadsheet. I'll see if I can put it on Google Docs and share it just so you can see what I'm working with. And we'll go from there. MB says, my favorite thing about this community is you can tell there's a lot of really different people in here and general politeness despite differences. MB, 100% correct. We have people from every political party and anti-party in here as well. Any hot topic issue, you can find both sides strongly represented here. And I think what makes this community special is that we can have civil conversations, and at the end of the day, we can disagree and still, welcome each other and say hi the next morning and be polite. Which I think is what's going to make this make it worth coming back to. Let's see. This is going to be DB, a collection of fake facial hair and silly hats. I'm not sure if they have a costume wardrobe section at the jail for him. The crash was on national news, happened around the same time as the Ann Heshi crash. Man, oh. Let's see. It was clear to see the witnesses DB called did not want to be there, understandably. They didn't, and they were witnesses for the state. He called more state's witnesses. The state could have called, 60 more people easily or 100 more, but instead DB called them for the state. I do have an amazing wife. Just if anyone wants to know, I will say that any day of the week. Props to homeschool teachers. It is awesome. It isn't for everybody. I will say that I've been homeschooled as well as public schooled, and I've had some amazing, awesome teachers who absolutely love to teach and inspire, and really are mentors. And at the same time, sometimes moms are exactly what a student might need. Even students that are struggling, to learn how to reach them and help them overcome that obstacle that's holding them back, and let them excel. Heather Barnett says, "R.A., will you share your spreadsheet so we can follow? Wifey, I homeschool my teenager. He's homeschooled since third grade. Great job, Mom." A couple of your homeschools. My wife actually does a homeschool YouTube channel, and it's called Homeschool Ground Zero. And I think she puts out about a video a week that are just amazing. That just shares, her beliefs about homeschool, how she does it, things she's found that work. Great discussion. Will I ever bring my wife on? If she wants to come on, she's always welcome. I'll have to figure out the cameras. But yeah, we could do that. And I will say she's not as interested in true crime as we are, but she's interested in me, and I think that's why she watches. Suggestion for the very bottom of the mug: can we have a flipping the bird? So bottoms up. You can just. I don't think I appreciate the humor there, but I don't think it goes with the vibe we're trying to create here. But I will laugh at that. That is really funny. True Celtic is doing a 24-hour live stream. Oh man, that takes just internal energy that I do not have. TW homeschooled youngest from 6th grade to graduation. That is awesome. Liz Larson says, DNA damage leading to insane actions. That's the Brighton monsters, zombies, and mutants. Huh. That might be interesting. Cheers to the wife to have patience to homeschool. That's amazingly awesome. We have 6 amazing kids, and my wife does phenomenally with them. Let's see. The traveling nurse got angry while on the phone and stomped on the gas pedal over 1 block. That's her story. That's her defense. She was mad because of something on the phone. That I wonder if she's just going to plead guilty or what. Okay, so I'm missing a couple here. Let's see. I have a feeling she was traveling on temp nurse licenses because she was hot-headed and never fit into one place at a time. Kelly says, what do you think about the concerning things happening in the Delphi killer case? Yeah, I'm concerned. I want to know, first of all, what's going on with the probable cause affidavit, why that's sealed. In my mind, it means that there's probably something still out there as far as other people connected to the case that are being investigated that haven't been arrested yet. I can't see why else you would save that and not release it to the public at this point. But also, there's the other connections, the other people who've been looked at, and those aspects. Those are very troubling. We know what's in Brooks' boxes. It's disguises, right? If he gets the funny nose and the glasses with the little springs on them, that would be great. TW, saw your comment. Too soon on that comment, buddy. But yeah, it's sad when people drive through crowds. I mean, you have got to disconnect to the point where nobody else matters as much as what I'm feeling, type thing. The nurse and DB were probably telepathically connected. That's what TW was getting at there. But let's see. Shauna says, Kelly, oh my goodness, please don't get me started on that. I have many thoughts. Kelly, what? Now I want to know. Oh, that was about the Delphi case. We will get on that. Shauna, we're gonna have some discussions about that as that kicks off. DB may build a fort and have his people talk behind it. You can't see me, but I'm somebody other than Daryl Brooks. Awesome. Homeschooling is awesome. Anyone who's doing that it is a hard job. It takes a lot of work, but a lot of times you're the best person to teach your child. Link your wife's page in details of this live. Let me see if I can do that. Can you entertain yourselves just for a minute while I pull it up here? Let's see if I can find this here. Here it is, about Okay, it's not a pretty link, but it's a link. Does that work? Let's see here. There we go. I just posted it. Oh, Abby, you might have done that already. Yep, you beat me to it, Abby. Thank you so much. You found it and posted it. It's worth a follow if you're interested in homeschool stuff. She does a great job. She's an amazing teacher, an amazing wife. Mr. Upper Torso. How about don't get murdered on the bottom of the mug? Just, life goals, right? Don't get murdered. It's awesome. People around the area need to chill out and let law enforcement protect the info and stop threatening the law so it can get tried. Kelly, you're talking about Delphi. Yeah. I don't think it's the community that's acting like that. It's the media. And to give you just an idea of what that looks like, in the going back to my spreadsheet here, in the Crumbley case, James Crumbley, Ethan Crumbley, and Jennifer Crumbley, combined on file, there have been 165 media requests on Ethan's case, 79 on James's case, and 77 on Jennifer's case. Those are requests for media to have access to the court, and they filed all these cases. So just think of having even just for Ethan's case, 165 media outlets, TV trucks, there asking for information, wanting the feed from the courtroom, filing for your paperwork and things like that. So it's not that they've been, threatening so much as just the flood of interest has overwhelmed the court. But there was some threatening as well, Kelly. I'm not saying that there wasn't, but people posted the judge's, family information. They doxed him online and things like that. So it's not good. Hopefully it goes better there. Roxanne says, Abby, you're a great mod. She is fantastic. Absolutely worth her weight in gold. Appreciate that. Donna says, oh, I'm sorry I'm so late. I had to get lunch to the kid and got lost on the way there. Oh, sorry. Glad you could make it here now. Wonder if Brooks will call any of his children, depending on the ages. Mom won't. And I hope he doesn't. I really hope he doesn't. Although the children will be impacted, and they probably don't have a good understanding of what's going on. I hope he doesn't call them to that setting. To have them there in court and hear, people are going to say mean things. And I hope the kids are protected from that. Shauna says, yes, I remember when they were searching for the girls. That's Delphi. I've been keeping up on it for years. It's a terrible thing. It is. Armchair detectives, you're right, Kelly. I'd like to not file Freedom of Information Act requests and put that burden on the court when other people can do that, and we can talk about their results. I just don't believe in adding on there. Let's see. Frank says, recovery addict, European guy here. Homeschooling should be illegal. Children are not parents' property, and they should not be able to choose what kids know or don't know. That's an interesting viewpoint, Frank. I'm curious, what country, if you're willing to share, Frank. I'm curious what country you're from, just for an idea about what the school system is like there. Just for a little background, Frank, a lot of the states here in the United States that allow homeschooling have various different regulations. Some, like here in North Carolina, our students have to take tests, and those tests will test them on how they're being taught compared to what they should know in that age group. Others require the teacher, the homeschool parent, to have been trained in teaching, things like that. So I don't see a lot of the homeschool community limiting what their kids will know. A lot of times it's done to customize the education to the child's learning style and things like that. But interesting viewpoint. Always welcome here. Appreciate you chiming in with that. Emma says, I want Brooks to be gagged and bound, not removed to the other room. That's too sanitary. I want victims to look at him fearlessly and utter whatever words they can muster in his face, not a camera. Emma, I want Brooks to just say, yes, I'm Brooks, and I did it. Is that too much to ask? We didn't get that at all during the court. Colette says, has anyone else noticed the original sketch has evolved over time to look like several different folk? The sketch changed a great deal. I think I've got a picture here I can pull up. Let me show you here. From the old one to the new one. It's slowly loading my media. It's going to take just a minute. Okay, here we go. 3. So these are the two sketches that changed. The one on the left was the first one, and the one on the right is the second one, and they're a little different. They really are different, and you can compare that with Richard. I'll put him up here next. That's what he looks like. So it's interesting. But and then there's me. Let's see. One good thing about the Brooks case is that the families can't go after the defense attorneys like Parkland, right? The defense attorneys are the defendant. Roxanne says, my boyfriend's son has taught me to cuss in sign language. Those are the first sign language words I learned. I had some friends over when I was in the UK that did British Sign Language, which is a little different than American Sign Language. American Sign Language, for instance, the alphabet is all done with your hands. You can do like A, B, C, D, like that. In England or in the UK, the British Sign Language, you have one hand that you sort of draw on with the other hand. So you like paint the words. So your 5 letters are A, E, I, O, U for your vowels. And so it's like A, B, C, D, E, F, G, so things like that. It's a little bit different, but one of the first words they taught me were the bad words, and they told me they were good words. And so I walk up to somebody and try to speak the only words I know, and of course I was insulting them. But that's what friends are for, right? The deaf people knew it was a joke, and then they laughed. They thought it was pretty funny. Libcom feels opposite on the homeschool being outlawed. I think going back to let's see, Frank's comment about homeschooling should be illegal. There are some situations, some cases we hear about, and I believe they are the exception, not the rule, where the parents, under the guise of homeschooling, have not educated their kids and have just have failed. Really, it's a form of abuse, right? So. In that case, there are issues that needs to be addressed in some way. Whether the government should have a right to force that or not, that's a topic for discussion. But Churchy, welcome, says, hey guys, just popping in to say hi. What was that? I have COVID and I'm feeling pretty crappy, but I'm better than I was. Have a great stream, guys. Churchy, I'm sorry. I hope you get feeling good soon. I know that it just keeps going around. It keeps going around. Let's see. Roxanne said, we've had more good homeschoolers than bad. Frank, let's see. Personally, I was raised in Italy, but I'm sure it's allowed in most of the EU states. Yeah, the school system is different. I'm not familiar with oh, I just dumped water on my laptop. Okay, so now we have an issue. My mug is empty. My pants are wet. My laptop is still turned on for now. But tell you what, let's go ahead and wrap up for now because I've got to dry off this laptop before I become electrocuted. And we'll clear that out. We're going to be back online for the extreme skier trial, hopefully, if this laptop still works. Let me show you what it looks like right now. Just a wee bit of water here on the desk, just a little bit. The phone, the iPad, everything else looks to be good. I'm not seeing sparks or smoke, so we might be in good shape. But anyway, let's get some more music to round it out, just to end it appropriately here. Okay. Turn keyboard upside down. Yeah, I will do that here. What time? I'll check on when the trial goes live, and I'll post on there and say, hydrate, vitamin D, don't get COVID. Great show. Be back this afternoon. Yeah. JD spilled as well. It happens to the best of us. You guys, thank you so much for being here. I'm going to go ahead and wrap up here. I'm going to get some paper towels and clean up my work area, and hopefully my laptop will survive. It is right now. It turned on and off a couple times, but now it's back on. So keep your fingers crossed. All right, I'll dry it out. Yep, it's an Apple, so hopefully it will live through this. Hit the like button on the way out, definitely. Thank you, everybody. I'm going to get out of here and get warmed back up or dried off and changed maybe, and we'll go from there. Thank you so much. My mug is empty, but my pants are wet. There's truth there. You guys, thanks for being here. We'll see you here in a little bit.